Hello, this is Russell Harris here from Temple Carrig School. We're just about to start our transition year production of The Voice, the musical The Voice. It's on next week, but we've just more or less finished building the set today, so I'm just going to do a backstage tour for you. This is really for so that we can look back on it, or I can look back on it myself, but also some people are interested in the technical details. If you're not, this is probably not for you. So you can see we have the lighting truss up and the stage in the background. Let's walk down and have a look. So at the moment you will notice the hall has been set up for exams, but this is all be cleared. We'll get about maybe 350 people in here if we need to. So you can see it's quite wide. This is usually a PE hall. These are big 8 foot wide, 6.5 foot tall cylinders that people can stand on, so it allows us to use the full width. We have over 100 people on stage in this show, so it's kind of hard to fit them all on the same time. So we did this. Let's have a look up here. So these stairs here, if you want to come a little closer, these stairs are kind of multi-purpose. They're built with vertical frames. The idea from this came from a famous book on set making, which name I can't remember, but I'll flash it up here in a second. So basically these are vertical frames that you make, and then you cut the tops to suit what you want. So in this show we wanted the curve to match this, so we worked that out. If you wanted straight stairs, you would just cut rectangular treads, and then you can put them together any way you like. So it's a very flexible system. So there's lots of lights, and colored lights are going to color this up. Just in passing, this is actually, I painted this magnolia, or at least the students did. We have a couple of transition year set making classes, so they would have done a lot of this work. Magnolia, it's kind of a creamy color rather than white, because with all the light on the stage, I didn't want it to be too bright. These here are just an electrical pipe. It's usually red, but it just worked really well for the banisters for this. If we come up to the top here. So these things here, these are boxes which are used all over the place. We have 40 of these made. They're 2 foot by 4 foot by 27 inches tall. And we can use them for all sorts of things. So we've got 6 of them here built up on this thing here. It's also, we use them to extend the stage, which you can see behind you there, if you want to turn around there. So underneath that grey carpet there is loads and loads of these boxes with little infills to pad it out to make the stage even bigger. So up here you can see that we built this in 2 halves. We have a carpet there, actually it's supposed to be back here in the middle. There's a carpet there, just I bought it because we wanted to set it out when we were practicing. But also you should be able to see that this is built in 2 halves. These are 8 by 4 plywood, and then there's a structure underneath built with these 2 by 4s. Then it's covered with 6mm MDF, which is built bent around it, which gives it a lot of structure, so it's all very strong. If you look to your right, you'll see we have an area here where somebody has to do a stunt fall and fall off into there. There will be a section of rail here which is going to be removable just when we come to this part of the show, but somebody can fall off there. There's a couple of gangsters have to fall off into a dock, and the reason for that, if you look up here, you'll see a man hanging down there. He's going to kick them as he goes past. That's just a tuxedo stuffed with wadding from an old duvet, and it's hung up there on ropes. I'll give you a demonstration of that. So I'm over here. So this is all on the rope. So if you have a look up at the man there, there's a moment that he just slides down this, knocks the bad guys off. That's part of a movie, and then when the movie goes wrong, we can just pull him back up again. Kind of wondering in the dark how many people won't even notice that hanging there for the whole show, but we'll see. So we have the same built on the other side here, and these sections here, that's hardboard, which is built around a classroom table. You can see the slot at the bottom because we're going to use dry ice with this. So I have a basin in there ready to go. 500 grams of dry ice will go in there. Then a kettle of boiling water. We pour it in, make the dry ice, and it should flow out through these gaps and go over the edge. It's like a chart show. It starts to show. So we have the furniture out here it's just been marked because it's going to be used. We were programming the lights last night. So behind you here, you can see kind of the feature, the main piece here. Don't step off the stage.
Yep.
This is supposed to be a giant television, 4:3 ratio, as it would have been back in the 80s when this show was set. We have it's rear projected. I'll show you that in a moment. Just a nice little feature here. We have a switch, which is just like a gimmick for the show, and that we need to be able to plug something in. That actually does work, that plug. But there's a part where somebody has to put a box on this shelf, so we can bring in this shelf, push it in. Then the box has to fall on their head while they stand here. So if you look up at the top there, you can see there's a little mechanism I'll just show you, which can be used to push it out. Behind. So that's how the box falls off. Over here we have a desk that can just be wheeled out to the center here when we want to turn this into an office. And this structure here, it's 11 foot tall. The screen here is 9 foot wide, 7 foot tall. And this is largely built with those same boxes on their sides here. So they're built up the top, and then the last 1.5 foot, or maybe slightly more, had to be built then just as a frame. So I'll go around the back in a minute, but there's a screen here, as you can see, which is being lit from behind by a projector. We can move that screen. You come over here. I'm just going to switch on the lights on the stage. Sorry, back again. So it just so happens that this stage, when we got it, it has a kind of a void up there. So we can actually fly in, you may not see that, we can fly in things up to 7 foot tall. And we put in this mechanism here. So this is a lifting apparatus, I call it. There's 20-litre bottles of water in the two sides, which are used to counterbalance the set. So when we pull these ropes here, we can raise the screen. If you want to go around to the front again, I just have to pull this rope and the screen will go up. You see it from the back there? So I can lift up this. And then we can use this for acting. So this becomes, when there's a video playing on the television, people can actually be standing inside the television as if they're on television and in the video. And then if you stay there, we can also drop down this, which are called the wall of lights. So it's actually very effective just on its own like that, with lights coming. They're individually programmed, or we can drop the screen down and then have them coming through with different colors behind, which is also very effective. So it's giving us lots of options. Okay, let's go around the back of the stage here. So this is our only door. The only access to the stage it's a bit limiting, which means that people have to be able to cross the stage. So coming around the back here, you can see we're set up here. This will be the props table here. It hasn't been organized yet. Giant window that we just keep for things now and again. This is an interesting gimmick you might be interested in. I saw this on a tour of the National Theatre a couple of months ago. It's basically a can of beer, but the top's been taken off, and we can slide in one of those small cans of Coke or 7-Up. So the actor on stage can open the can and drink 7-Up, but it looks like they're drinking beer. So it's a good way of doing that for schools or any production where obviously you can't have alcohol being drunk on stage. So when the cast want to go around the other side, they have to pass behind this cyc here. So if you want to follow me through here. So you can see I have the projector back here, and one of the problems I had was I need to get the image large enough on the screen back here. So if I put the projector here, it just wouldn't be far enough away. So come up with this of putting a mirror on its side, so it gives me an extra couple of feet and makes the image large enough. Okay, so I think that's all the details of this show that I would personally like to remember looking back on it, and I hope that might have been useful to you as well. Okay, see you now.